Mr. President, distinguished guests, it is my distinct honor and privilege to address the 58th session of the Human Rights Council. Allow me at the outset to congratulate you on your election as the President of the Human Rights Council. My delegation expresses utmost confidence in your leadership. Mr. President, I'm delighted to report that Zimbabwe continues to make significant progress towards the protection and promotion of fundamental human rights, and in that regard, I'm pleased to inform the Human Rights Council that on the 31st of December 2024, Zimbabwe enacted the Death Penalty Abolition Act, reaffirming our unwavering commitment to the fundamental principles enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. As a nation, we recognize that the right to life constitutes the cornerstone of all human rights, as articulated in Article 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and Article 6 of the ICCPR. The abolition of the death penalty represents a historic milestone in Zimbabwe's efforts towards consolidating a justice system founded on human dignity, equity, and respect for the sanctity of human life. The Death Penalty Abolition Act clearly attests to Zimbabwe's dedication and commitment to aligning its national legislation with international human rights standards and obligations. The Act amends several existing statutes to eliminate any provisions concerning the death penalty, substituting them with the principles of rehabilitation, proportionality, and justice. The Act also introduces transitional provisions to guarantee that individuals previously sentenced to death are resentenced in accordance with the ideals of fairness and human dignity. Mr. President, Zimbabwe has taken significant strides towards enhancing access to justice through decentralizing courts and legal aid directorate to districts and the introduction of a performance management system for the judiciary to enhance efficiency and effectiveness. Equally important and mutually reinforcing is the integrated electronic case management system that was rolled out in superior courts and is now being cascaded to lower courts. Mr. President, Zimbabwe has been grappling with unprecedented climate changes due to recurrent El Nino-induced droughts, which have placed considerable strain on our economy. To mitigate climate change, Zimbabwe is implementing the Presidential Climate-Proof Agricultural Production Scheme, prioritizing mechanization and irrigation using existing water bodies. As a result, we have achieved self-sufficient in wheat production. Other schemes on food security include programs such as the Food Deficit Mitigation Program and the School Feeding Program. In this regard, we acknowledge support rendered by development partners. In recognition of these people-centered transformative agricultural policies, Zimbabwe won the prestigious 2024 Africa Food Prize as an acknowledgement of Zimbabwe's commitment to sustainable development, food security, and nutrition. Mr. President, Zimbabwe's chairmanship of SADC exemplifies the collaborative spirit of our people and the strong partnerships that we have continued to foster regionally and globally. As we continue to address our human rights obligations, we are determined to ensure that our legal framework and processes respect both domestic, regional, and international standards. As part of our commitment to and in compliance with human rights obligations and mechanisms, my government continues to cooperate with special mandate holders and endeavors to be up to date with its reporting obligations, with various reports due for review this calendar year, such as the periodic report to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights due for consideration on 6 and 7 March 2025. Further, my government is ready to host the Working Group on Violence Against Women and Girls, its causes and consequences in August 2025. Mr. President, Zimbabwe's economy has continued to be negatively impacted by the illegal and unilateral coercive measures imposed by some powerful Western nations. The UCMs have negatively impacted the realization of fundamental human rights by ordinary Zimbabweans and vulnerable groups. These UCMs are in violation of the UN Charter. We are therefore strongly denouncing them and call for their immediate and unconditional lifting. In conclusion, Mr. President, Zimbabwe remains steadfast in its pursuit of human rights, justice, and sustainable development of all its people. In unity, we can overcome adversity and emerge stronger. I thank you, Mr. President.